So good morning everybody and welcome to my second session today. I'm here to talk about the new 3WA air circuit breaker. We've got a 1600 amp device behind us here. This is actually the first 3WA device on site at our Siemens manufacturing facility here in Wythenshawe, Manchester. Let's get this racked in and then let's hop over to some of the Siemens software tools and take you through just how easy it is to upgrade this breaker post-sales for energy monitoring functionality or enhanced protective functions. So we've now racked in our 1600 amp 3WA into our Silicon S4 switchboard. I mentioned some enhanced protection functions and inbuilt energy monitoring earlier, so just how exactly do those intertwine within the ACB? Well, our new 3WA comes with a trip unit known as ETU 600, and inside ETU 600 there are two microprocessors. We have an application microprocessor and we have a protection microprocessor. The protection microprocessor covers the standard protective functions of L, S, I and G. And that microprocessor is boxed off from the rest of the breaker. You cannot tamper with it, so you know that the breaker is always going to be fit and safe for service at any time. Then we have that application processor, and this is a unique feature to 3WA. It brings with it two separate settings. It brings the ability to include PMF levels 1, 2 and 3, which are our varying levels of energy monitoring internal to the breaker, and it also brings the ability to add in those enhanced protective functions, whether they be reverse power, directional short time protection, or even the new high Z function, which is essentially restricted earth fault. So that's enough about the ETU. We're here to look at some demonstrations today, so let's hop onto our laptop and see exactly how we download some of those software keys into the 3WA and upgrade it once it's in the panel.
Right, so we've now hopped onto my laptop, and I did mention earlier if we need to order any of these new enhanced protective functions or PMF levels, we order it as a soft key. So just exactly how do we do that? Well, you can see on the screen here I've got the Siemens LV10 catalogue. This actual catalogue that I'm showing you is actually the 3WA specific chapter. If we scroll down through the catalogue, we will eventually find the actual part numbers for those extra functions. I'm just going to skip a few pages, we don't have to do that, let's just go 1/44. You'll see now we're on the function packages page for the 3WA. So you'll see there that the ground fault alarm has got its own part number, the upgrade to metering function PMF level 2 has got its own part number, adding in individual PMF criteria also have their own part numbers as well. So there's many part numbers you could choose from that you could then upgrade and upload into the breaker. So if we click on one of these, let's go for the upgrade to PMF level 2. This will now take us through to the Siemens Industry Mal. So there we go. From here, if you're logged in with your standard account at the top, you will be able to procure this particular part number, and then it will send an email to you upon the completion of your purchase. So let's now hop over to that email.
Okay, so we've got our email here from the Industry Mal confirming our order. This one in particular has come from my good colleague Thomas over at Siemens HQ. You'll see that the text is available in both German and English on this order, and it points out the 6 part numbers that we've actually ordered for this particular case. So that's 6 different software keys for the new 3WA. It'll also confirm the next steps, as you can see there, and what you need to do on the TIA portal, etc. And if you've not got access to it, it will also include a download link for the Automation License Manager, and this is the tool for handling all the licenses. So without further ado, let's stop there and let's swap over to the Automation License Manager and go from there. So now we click on the online software delivery screen, and this is the section of the Industry Mal which is specifically for software and licenses. So we need to log in, and you'll see this brings up multiple login methods. You can log in with your Industry Mal account credentials, or you could register as a new user if you don't yet have an account. For this demonstration though, I am going to use the Windows authentication method. So once I've clicked on that, to give it a second to load, this should bring up the export regulations pop-up. We just need to make sure that we click to accept that, and then that should go away. So once we've done that, the online software delivery screen opens up. As you can see on the screen, this gives us the ability to download certificates or transfer licenses. You might have noticed that I have actually already transferred 3 licenses and downloaded 3 certificates. I've already transferred PMF level 2, under and over frequency, and under and over voltage. If we look to the left hand side, you'll see the folder I've created which contains the transferred licenses. So next, I want to download my certificate for directional short time. So in our breaker's case, we have PMF level 1 already, and we want to add in the DST functionality of PMF level 2. So let's download this certificate. Let's click on that there, click OK, and then just give it a second to load once we've opened it up. So now that the certificate's downloaded, let's bring it into view. If we scroll down here, you'll see that the certificate shows us the name of the function that we've purchased the license for. It also shows some software requirements as well. But if we save that certificate and put it to one side in our project folder, and then once that's saved, we can get to work on transferring the license to our PC. So we can transfer that license via a simple drag and drop of the license into the project folder up there. Just click yes to accept that note, and please do note that once this license is done, the license is effectively consumed. And we just wait a second for that to take effect. If we open up the DST file in the top left there, we can see that's been successful and it has copied over the license. Okay, so we've now transferred our licenses via the Automation License Manager. The next step is to connect our laptop to our ETU 600 in the 3WA. We can do that via a simple USB-C connection, which I've got here, so let's plug that in. As we do this, we should see the trip unit power up at the same time. There we go, that's now booting up. Now we need to swap back to Power Config to look at the PMF levels and the enhanced protective functions. So first up, we need to set the connection settings. So if we select the 3WA from the library on the left hand side there, then we need to select the communications window. Once we're in the communications window, we access the PC interface drop down list and select the COM port for the breaker we have in question. In our particular case here is COM port number 5. Once we've done that, let's ping the device in order to check for a successful connection. Next up, we move to the licensing window. This window shows us all the licenses which are available for the 3WA. So our first step here is to load the license information into our PC. So what Power Config is doing here is 2 things. It's checking the license status of your breaker, and secondly, it's checking if you have already transferred available licenses to your PC via the Automation License Manager. So via this simple color-coded graphic, we know which licenses are available for transfer to the breaker. In our case, you can see we have a PMF level 1 3WA ACB at the moment, which shows current, voltage and active energy ticked to the bottom there. To confirm this, if we click on the Compare Packages section at the top there, we can click the PMF level 1 as well. And that gives us a comparison of our breaker against the PMF level 1 levels. We can do the same with the PMF level 2 there as well, gives you those additional features. And we can also do the exact same with the PMF level 3, so it gives a nice comparison against the 3 different energy monitoring levels. We can also check out the enhanced protective functions as well by using that tick box up there. But for what we need to do, let's untick all of those boxes and return that to the default settings. So we want to upgrade our breaker to PMF level 2. So we go to the Apply License Package tab up there. This is where Power Config is fairly self-intuitive. So the packages we've copied across via the Automation License Manager are available to upload. The others, as you can see on the screen, are greyed out. So let's select PMF 2 package. So we need to click OK, click Proceed, This will give us a warning. Just click yes on that warning there. This will now take a few minutes for it to go through the actual application. So once it's completed that upload, we will get a warning from Power Config telling us we need to power off and power back on the ETU. So to get that to work, we need to reset the ETU 600, and it's as simple as unplugging the USB-C connection and cutting the power, wait a few seconds, and then we plug it back in. Right, so we've successfully reset the ETU 600. Now we need to hit that load license button again. So Power Config is repeating that load license step for us now. And there we go, a successful upgrade to PMF level 2. We now have energy, power, temperature and frequency all ticked. For the next step, I want to upgrade and include that directional short time enhanced protection. And we can do this as a single license package. So if we click apply license there on the right hand side and click proceed. Now Power Config is repeating the same process for us again here, applying a license, sending it to the breaker and activating it. Once it's done this, we should get that prompt again there to power off and power on the ETU. Let's just double check that one's worked as well by loading the license information once again. And there we go. We've successfully integrated directional short time protection into our 3WA. Okay, so that brings us to the end of the 3WA air circuit breaker section of the symposium. Thank you for staying with me. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. Please do stick around as my colleagues have some interesting sessions up next. I'll catch you later. Thank you.